She sat on the cold wooden floor, cross-legged and surrounded by fragments of her past, each item like a tiny time capsule holding memories that tugged at her heart. The late afternoon sunlight filtered through the window, casting a warm glow on her hands as they gently traced the outline of an old faded photograph. In the photo, she was young, carefree, her face radiant with unbridled enthusiasm. She remembered that moment, the day she promised herself she'd conquer the world, make a mark, become someone who mattered. But now, years later, she barely recognized the person in the picture. Life had twisted and turned in ways she hadn't anticipated, shaping her into someone who felt far from that bright-eyed dreamer. She had seen dreams slip through her fingers like sand, friendships fade into silence, and ambitions buckle under the weight of responsibilities and setbacks. Her once bright eyes now carried a hint of sorrow, the result of countless quiet disappointments and paths left unexplored. She looked around at the mess of her memories. Trophies from a time when achievement seemed easy, journals filled with goals she had since abandoned, postcards from places she thought she'd revisit, but never did. The clutter of her past seemed to mock her, whispering doubts and regrets, and for a moment, she felt herself sinking under the weight of it all. But amid the melancholy, a quiet voice rose from within, a whisper that asked a simple yet powerful question. What if this isn't the end? What if I can start again? The possibility lingered, fragile yet full of hope, and for the first time in a long time, she felt a spark of something she thought she'd lost, a tiny glimmer of belief in herself. How often do we find ourselves in this same place, surrounded by memories of who we once dreamed we'd become, weighed down by the gap between that person and who we are today? Maybe you too have a drawer full of old mementos, each one a reminder of paths you didn't take, dreams you set aside, people you let slip away. Her story is not just hers, it's a story for anyone who has ever felt trapped by the life they ended up living, yearning for a second chance, a chance to begin again. This is a story for anyone who has ever felt that perhaps, just perhaps, it's not too late to reinvent themselves. She decided to confront her past head-on, to sift through her memories and decide what still mattered, what could be left behind, and what might still hold a piece of her soul. She picked up an old journal, the cover worn and faded. She remembered the countless nights she'd poured her heart into its pages, mapping out her dreams, her aspirations. She read her younger self's words. One day, I'll make a difference. The certainty in those words made her heart ache. But instead of despair, she felt a small flame ignite inside. She decided to keep the journal, not as a reminder of what she hadn't done, but as a reminder that those dreams still had life within them. Next, she pulled out a small trinket box, opening it to reveal a collection of love letters from a relationship that had once filled her with so much hope. She remembered how that love had defined her for a time, how it had lifted her up, but also left scars she carried even now. With each letter, she felt a pang of bittersweet nostalgia, but she also knew that holding on to them was chaining her to a past that no longer served her. She whispered a quiet, heartfelt goodbye, thanking the letters for the lessons they had brought, and placed them in a pile to be let go. With each item she sorted, she began to feel lighter. Some items she kept, not out of longing, but as reminders of her strength, her resilience, the person she had been, and the person she was still becoming. She realized that reinvention wasn't about erasing her past. It was about honoring it while allowing herself to grow beyond it. She wasn't trying to reclaim who she used to be. She was building a new version of herself, one that encompassed both her past dreams and the wisdom she had gained along the way. Have you ever felt like the person you once dreamed of becoming is slipping away? Have you too faced the challenge of reclaiming yourself amid life's many demands? Share your story in the comments below. Let's walk this path together, supporting each other in the journey of reinvention. This is just the beginning. Now that we've taken the first steps, let's move forward into the first critical part of this journey: letting go of the past. Join me in the next video as we learn the art of releasing what no longer serves us.